Geekers, I'm Nick. We're out here at Computex Taipei 2023 checking out what Cougar's got on offer. They've got some interesting cases you guys might like, and you've been asking for all the cases, so that's what we're gonna do. But before all that, here's a word from our Computex sponsors.
Our Computex Taipei 2023 coverage is proudly brought to you by ASUS and ROG, the Republic of Gamers. You can find links to their products in the video description.
One of the trends that we saw back in, I'm going to say 2011, was military style cases. Corsair had one that I had. I don't know what it was called. It was like a carbide case with handles that looked like an ammo crate, and this is kind of in the same style as that. This aesthetic, I feel like Cougar's been holding on to for a while. I don't hate it, it's really cool. But what makes the Panzer 800 slightly different to cases that we see now, and this was actually a trend in the early 2000s, but completely toolless cases, right? Side panel opens with no tools. A lot of the things that you can move around inside require no tools. But what this does differerly compared to the cases of yesteryear is have a lot of support for radiators and liquid cooling. So on the bottom, we can put 3 120mm fans as intake. The power supply shroud itself is also completely ventilated. So what that means is more air in, more air out equals cool computer. When I mean toolless, I mean almost everything's toolless on this case. Top panel just pops off. There's room up there to allow you to install fans on top of your radiator. So if you're doing like a 360mm rad and you want some push-pull, which you know how I feel about push-pull, just adds more sound. You can do it if you really want. There's magnetic fan filters as well, but these ones are a little bit different. It's got like a pull tag. Check this out. Right? I break everything in every booth. What we're seeing with the Panzer 800 is pretty standard for cases of the time, but it is nice that we still have this military look, because this is something that was popular about 12 years ago and people still like it. We get comments about this kind of stuff all the time. The reason why we cover things like this is because this is what you guys have asked for. Not everyone has the same tastes with cases. We're here to cater for all of you. If you're not interested in something like the Panzer 800, Cougar's got a prototype that might be for you. They've taken a lot of what we saw inside the Panzer 800 and they've put it into this, the MX600. So what they're telling me is a lot of the tooling is the same, and it's not exactly the same, but all of that toollessness, is that a word? Toollessness is still in the MX600. They're saying that they wanted to create an airflow and aesthetic space case with giving you the opportunity to remove, I want to try and not fuck this up, the front panel. It comes with the glass front panel as well. Another thing that we're seeing here at Computex this year, this one's a prototype, but most of the new cases, instead of using fabric, this one is fabric because it's a prototype, but they're using metal fan filters. And the reason why they're doing that is because now they have the tooling to make it a bit more porous. It can catch everything, and it's not as expensive as it used to be. So let us know in the comments what you think. I think the trend that we're seeing with fan filters here this year is pretty interesting. Metal. It's good to see. As mentioned, the MX600 is an aesthetics focus case, so it will probably come with that glass front panel in the box as well. You know, airflow is all well and good, but not everybody wants that. We saw that with the new 011 case that Pedro did with Leon Lee yesterday, and from the comments that we've seen from you guys, some of you just don't care about the airflow, and that's kind of the idea behind the MX600 as well, except it gives you options, and options are good. Okay, all good? All right. I've saved the best case for last. This is called the DuoFace RGB. Take a look at this. Come in closer. I want to show you this. This thing is very, very small, right? And you might be thinking, yeah, this is a pretty standard ATX case, but it's not. This fits a full, fat EATX motherboard in this tiny little case. You heard that right. Now, much like the MX600, it's not just an airflow focus case, it's also an aesthetics focus case. Now, in the configuration that we're seeing on the demo unit here on the show floor, it's got a glass panel. Again, they're really going for this whole toolless thing. This one here has that metal front filter that I was talking about. However, it will be shipping with this mesh front panel to replace the glass panel as well. Now, I'm not going to talk about pricing because, to be honest, I don't know what any of it is. But Cougar's always been quite competitive with all of their cases over the years. And now, come in, I'm going to have a little bit of a heart-to-heart with you guys, right? There's a reason why we don't really cover Cougar cases on the channel. And it's not for lack of trying. It's the fact that a lot of Cougar cases are just too big. And I know the QBX, you guys know that case. You know it's one of my favorite cases because it's small form factor. But cases like the DuoFace RGB are kind of making me change my mind on how I feel about Cougar cases. You know, things like the Conqueror and all that stuff. It's huge. Yeah, it's cool. It's not super practical. They're also very, very expensive. And if they can hit the market at the right price with the DuoFace RGB, with the motherboard support this thing has, it could be a winner. But I guess we're going to have to bug Cougar for one of these and find out for ourselves. Let us know in the comments what you think about smaller cases that can fit EATX motherboards. You know me, I'm down with fitting big things in small places. If the DuoFace RGB is smaller than you would typically like, they've carried some of the tooling over, they've expanded the case out into the DuoFace Pro. I thought that was worth mentioning because I said this to them as well, and I noticed this about the Panzer 800. Come and look at this. It's funny, but it's got like an NZXT cable bar. Like, it's exactly the same as the NZXT cable bar, but the difference here is they've got a GPU support bracket built into that cable bar. I thought it was funny. I had to mention it because I know for a fact that if I don't, one of you guys is going to say something about it. Maybe I shouldn't have said it because then you commented. Anyway, all right, ladies and gents, that's everything that I've got to show you guys that I found interesting this year at the Cougar booth at Computex 2023. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. I'm your comfy ass boy Nick with Gear Seekers. You know the line, right? You peak, we seek, and I need a rest. It's been a big Computex this year. Hope you guys have been enjoying the coverage. Let us know if you've been enjoying it. You guys have been. You've been telling me. Yeah, we'll catch Cougar next year. Hopefully they'll have some more cool stuff to show us. Thanks for watching.